got Jameis Winston, Christian Gonzalez, New England Patriots, and the one and only Mike Penix from Tampa, Florida. Thanks for joining me.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Grateful.
What is going on with you? You a free agent now?
Yes, I am.
Update us now. What's going on with you?
Right now, I am a Fox Sports correspondent, Coach. So that's what I'm doing right now. But I'm still my job application is still out. I'm looking for a team that will allow me to serve and lead them to the promised land.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Christian? How's the body feeling? You're healthy, ready to go?
Yeah, the body feeling great. Finished year 2, excited, had a good year. Ready to get back up there and go back to work.
My history with the Patriots, they've always had the next great corner, Ty Law, Asante Samuel. They've had great safeties, Devin McCourty back there. They had Rodney Harrison, Lawyer Malloy. Tell me about just being a New England Patriot and following along with that legacy.
Yeah, I mean, it's been awesome to be up there. I mean, like you said, they've always had a great DB. They've had, I mean, a great secondary, not just one, but it's been fun being up there. I've enjoyed my time and just looking to build on this year.
What's that like when the receiver comes in motion and cracks the safety and you got to come up and replace? And that big back Stevenson is coming outside. It's a different deal in the NFL, isn't it?
Yeah, it get crazy. But
you like mixing it up in there a little bit?
Yeah, I get up in there. I'll stick my nose in there a little bit.
Well, hey, since you're at Fox, I want you to introduce this kid right here to the world. Who do you think he is? Tell me about him.
Yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm introducing you a young man who has endured throughout the course of his collegiate career, high school career. I had the honor of working with him in Tampa, Florida. I knew when I first laid eyes on him that he was going to be a premier NFL Super Bowl winning quarterback. Without further ado, the starting quarterback for now the Atlanta Falcons and future Super Bowl MVP and NFL MVP, Michael Penix.
Michael Penix. Hey, just tell me a little bit. Just being honest, tell the young quarterbacks you're sitting there on draft day. You know you're going in the first round. Everybody's talking about, okay, the next quarterback, Penix. Where's he going? Atlanta Falcons take you off the board. What was a reaction that you had?
I mean, whenever I got took off the board, man, I was excited, but at the end of the day, like, whenever you get to that time, it's like, I put in so much work to get to this point. At the end of the day, I just trust God and trust that, he's going to place me in a spot that I needed to be. I didn't know where that was going to be until I got that phone call, but all the way up until then, I made sure I did everything in my power I could to make sure I was put in that position to be able to be a part of something special and obviously living out my dreams each and every day, playing in the NFL. So, man, it's special, man, but man, it took a lot of hard work. I went through a lot of adversity to get to this spot, and I'm just blessed to be here. So,
Coach, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So, throughout your career, people have known you as to be tough on the young quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. What are things that you would like to see out of your young quarterbacks in their early years to develop your trust and your collaboration with them moving forward?
Well, I'm a big believer. I call it RCE, recognition. We got to recognize defenses. We got to recognize, is it cover 3? Is it man-to-man? Is it a split safety coverage? Is it a blitz? But if we can recognize the defense, now you start communicating plays or protection terms that'll beat that defense they're in. If we can recognize at a high level and communicate at a high level, we got a better chance to execute at a high level. So just watching you operate at the line of scrimmage, tell the young quarterbacks, I mean, some of the best plays you have to make are getting us out of a bad play. Or, hell, don't throw it over here if it's double coverage. Hand the ball off to Bijan, right?
Yeah, for sure. For me, it was like always – like the processing part, it was never that hard for me. I've always was able to process the game, but obviously when you get to the NFL, like the speed is different. Some of the disguises are much better than what you've seen before, but like you said, you can get put in situations where, you go to snap the ball, you thinking there's something else, and you feel like you got a coverage that, you got a play that's going to beat the coverage that you thought they were in, but as soon as the ball snapped, you got safeties rotating, and like you got to make those decisions on the fly. But the best thing you can do is like, what I always been able to do is like find my check down if it's not there. So it's like, yeah, I want to make the big play. I know a lot of people talk about me for the way I can make the big play, the big throw, but like in college, like I was getting those plays called so much because I was able to take the check down and taking what they give me, you know, even whenever it wasn't perfect, the perfect look that we wanted. So to just being able to understand that and understand just because it's a shot play, you don't have to take the shot, you know, stuff like that, and just always trying to keep your team in front of the sticks. That's the biggest part.
Are we going to be able to get him down to the FFCA? You guys going to come back to Tampa?
I'm going to be working my butt off to get this young man down there to FFCA just because I know the work that he puts in. And when I first met him in 2018, we were out there working. He was coming off of a injury in Indiana. Man, Coach, he had a race on and everything, going through the bags. Mm-hmm. You talk about quickness. Mm-hmm. When I tell you he was quick going through the bags, coming off recovery now. So I know I definitely want to get him connected with you down there in Tampa.
I like how you emphasize quick. Yes. We always talk about 3 kinds of quickness. Mental quickness, you got to get quicker mentally. You got to get your arm quicker, and you got to get the body quicker. And every day we got to get quicker. We don't stay the same. We got to get after guys like Gonzalez, man. Look at him. Are we pissing you off talking offense like this?
Nah, not at all.
How good is Drake May? I want to hear that from you.
I think Drake that boy. I mean, he can make a lot of throws. I personally didn't know how athletic he was, like how fast he was, what he can bring to the table as a runner. And he just liked to compete. I mean, we go at it in practice. He talk a lot more talk than people think too. But I'm excited for him. He had a good year. Excited to see him take that step next year.
You're kind of soft-spoken, aren't you? You're kind of a nice, soft-spoken guy, unlike a lot of DBs that are kind of loud and vicious, man.
Yeah. I'm pretty opposite of most DBs. Mm-hmm. That's how I've always been.
You know, when I get with Jameis, sometimes he has a army of people that help him. He walked in last winter. He must have had 7 or 8 guys of his own coaches. He has his own diet coach, his own stretch coach, his own mental coach. Hell, he's got all kind of coaches, right? You got an army.
Well, it takes – my dad also said it takes a village to raise a child, and I think my youthful stage of staying prepared involves a lot of different pieces because I might not be the expert in nutrition. I might not be the expert in working out. But what I can do is surround myself with great people and have an intentional plan for what I want to do. And that's one thing I want to ask you, Coach. Being a head coach, all these guys, you got to bring in your own staff. Sometimes you got to go to a place where they don't allow you to have your own staff. How do you go about leading those men within the building to get them on your page so that y'all can be collaborative and work together for our benefit?
I think it's really hard on quarterbacks, hard on you. I mean, here's a young corner. How many secondary coaches have you had now? This will be 3,
coaches,
right?
Head coaches will be 3.
3 different head coaches, and this will be your 3rd year.
3rd year.
So you're always getting a different interpretation about how to practice, how to see a certain coverage, where to put your eyes, what drills are we running. But to answer your question, I think the most important thing a head coach can do is hire good assistant coaches. And you play for one of my guys, Raheem Morris. Mm-hmm. And I know he's an energetic guy, but he's a defensive guy. Yeah. And I never liked those defensive guys. You know, I kind of dislike the defensive guys. But just talk about where you are with the offense in terms of learning. You had a chance to sit behind Kirk Cousins. He got thrown to the Wolves as a rookie. He got thrown to the Wolves as a rookie. What was that experience like, taking advantage of a veteran like Cousins?
I mean, it was great. You know, a lot of people asked me about that situation, you know, how I felt about it, you know, if I was upset because I was put in that situation. But, man, I was blessed, man. Like I said, you know, I feel like God put me in that situation for a reason. You know, I was able to watch. I was able to develop and grow and learn each and every day, you know, watching Kirk, you know, just obviously a veteran in his 13th year this past year, and he was playing at a high level, you know, especially early on, you know, just seeing how he was processing, eliminating stuff, getting to the back, you know, just on time. You know, everything is always on time, and you know, that's some stuff like you can just watch. Like, some people ask me, like, what did he teach me? It's like, I wasn't expecting him to teach me anything. You know, I wanted to, you know, I got to pick up on that stuff on my own. Like, it's not his job to teach me, you know, how to play quarterback in the NFL. But, you know, for me, it's like, I'm going to watch what you do each and every day and how you go about your business and, you know, lead this football team because you've been doing it for a long time. And, you know, I did that. And whenever I got that chance, that time to go out, you know, I made sure I was ready each and every day, each and every game, because it's like, at the end of the day, I'm the backup, but I'm one play away. So just always being ready, you know, just always mentally mentally, physically being ready, for that opportunity whenever it comes. And whenever it did come, I felt confident, I felt comfortable, and I was ready to go. So
I watch you guys play. You're kind of an old school quarterback. He's kind of an old school quarterback.
He is.
I mean, I'm watching Lamar Jackson. Jaden Daniels, let's be honest, man. That's what he was doing was crazy.
It was.
Josh Allen has his own style.
Yeah.
When I watch you guys play, you guys are old-fashioned gunslingers. And he is a crazy gunslinger. You are aggressive. I almost got car sick watching you play against Denver on Monday Night Football. I mean, that ball was going up and down the field. You are very aggressive in how you see the game. And sometimes it's awesome, and sometimes it works against you. Just maybe give him a little bit of feedback on what he should consider learning from you.
Well, I think the biggest thing that you can learn from me is the confidence in how I go about the game, the preparation that I put into learning who my people are and who I'm facing, like studying, like, does he like press more? Does he like bail more? Working with my receivers, telling them, like, hey, man, like every in-breaking route, we're going to tear this guy up. But on the out-breaking routes, I need you to come negative because he sits on them and he drives on the football. So I just think that extra piece of being able to involve the other guys around you for all of y'all to be on the same page for the common good. One thing that I do want you to take away from my bad experiences is that we have the ability to win a game when it matters most. And when it matters most is from the first play to the last play. Sometimes I like to jump ahead and put the game in my own hands because I know I have the ability to do that. So I just encourage you through our conversations is do what's required on every given play. You don't have to do necessarily what you want to do what's required. And sometimes that might be checking the ball down. Sometimes that might be taking a sack. Sometimes that might be, if you know it's cover 2 and you got a shot play, you really want to throw this shot play, sometimes that might be telling yourself, man, let me get out of this. Coach going to cuss me out because I changed the play. But check into a wide zone run just to get an efficient yards on that so we can be in second and 6 less.
You know, one time I was coaching the Raiders, we had Jerry Rice on one side and we had Tim Brown on the other. These are 2 Hall of Famers. And we ran H2 double go. It was a preseason game. I just wanted to throw a bomb. And Gannon looked at me and he goes, who do you want me to throw it to? Because the other one's going to get pissed. You know what I mean? But he's in the huddle. He's a rookie. He got Drake London over here. He got Darnell Mooney over here. Mooney can play now. And the receivers all want the ball. But there's a little bit of having a thick skin and listen. Don't listen to all the static and all the bitching and moaning. You got to play quarterback. What's your philosophy on that?
Hey, man, I don't.
Come on, give me something. Penix.
So like I'm actually in a good situation. Like those guys are, those are team guys. Those guys want to see the team win, and they're not selfish at all. I hear that you can be in those situations. And if I were in that situation, I mean it comes down to relationships. I feel like as a quarterback, you got to have that relationship with those guys. Just understanding, how they are. But at the same time, it's only one football on the field. And I'm going through my progressions and what I see and what I feel. I'm going to trust that each and every time. And I tell those guys, like, just continue to get open. The ball will find you. That's how it usually works out. So I'm not going through that right now, and I haven't been through that at all. So, but if I were to go through that, I know I would have to build that relationship with that person, with those people, and so that we can have those talks about, why isn't he getting the ball, or different ways to help him get the ball. But at the end of the day, it's only one ball on the field. It'll find you when to do so.
Coach, I got one for you because you are a great play caller. And in terms of these different quarterbacks, Mike, I believe he has it all, arm strength and can extend. I mean, I think he ran a 4.5 in his training, so he can run. People don't know he can run, but he got wheels. In terms of training these young quarterbacks, you got an aggressive quarterback. How do you go about your play calling when you know you got someone that's willing to take calculated risks opposed to someone who doesn't necessarily take any risk at all?
Well, that's a big challenge. I think trust is the big thing. We got to be honest. We want a completion. When I call a play, I want a completion. I'm going to call a play with a primary receiver. If he's open, throw him the ball. If he's not open, get me a completion. I get excited about a completion, any kind of completion. And we practice like that, we play like that. But most importantly, let's start practice fast. The first 3 passes, complete. Let's get into a routine. Just like we start a game, we got to get going in the first quarter. It builds confidence. But I think we got to build trust in one another. We want to avoid negative plays at all costs. Let's not run into a 4-week blitz. Let's not run a scat protection against an all-out blitz. Fix the problem. Number one, let's eliminate wasted plays, sacks, fumbles, interceptions. And if we can do that with your talent, we're going to give you enough at-bats. And the way you throw the ball, man, I'm sitting there in my FFCA watching you come in there against the Giants. I couldn't take my eyes off you, man. I mean, it's exciting. And now you're going into year 2 of your system. Take away bad football. Eliminate all the bad football from your practice. Get your drill work going where you guys are really full speed in your drill work. And get ready to get after some of these guys because these DBs are good, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Speaking about DBs, how do you evaluate when you have a number one corner on one side and you don't necessarily want to stay away from him, but how do you create other matchups on the other side to lull him to sleep and then attack him when he's asleep?
Well, I'm trying to find a tight end. That's what I do. Yeah. Get a guy like Darren Waller or Kyle Pitts. I love that speed trips for him. You get Njoku, right?
Yep.
Put him over there by himself, and you put your other 3 receivers on the left. And as soon as those 3 DBs go over there, let's come calling over here. You know, but try to get into some different matchups. Let's use Bijan Robinson out of the backfield. Good Lord. And you guys can line up empty. He looks like a wideout coming off the ball. Talk about that guy.
Man, he's special. He's special. He do stuff I've never seen on the football field before, man. He's a special guy. Like, he can do it out of the backfield too. Like, in the air, he's great, you know, man. And he's a guy that wants to work. Everything's like, all right, let's go. Like, I can go, I can work. It's like Thursday, Friday practice. Like, okay, we're going to take some off these guys' eggs. He's like, man, I can get this full speed rep if you want. Like, let's do it. So it's like to have somebody like that, and obviously the way that he plays the game at such a high level, and, you know, just always willing to do more, man, it's special to have, man. He's a great person as well, too. So.
See, I love watching Trent McDuffie of the Chiefs. I love him because he tackles. I love Budda Baker. He's probably my favorite defensive player in the league. You know, I love corners that'll tackle. I mean, let's be honest. A lot of the passes that you're defending, I call them those bullshit bubble screens and quick screens. But just talk about how important it is to shed a block, get off a block, and then make the tackle.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, being able to do that just adds to your game because, I mean, it just already being a corner, you know, you want to be a great corner. You don't want them – I mean, you want them to throw the ball your way. But if you put it on tape that you can get off a block, go make a tackle, then it's like, all right, we can't really throw at him, we can't run at him, we can't throw a bubble screen because he's going to make the play. So being able to do that makes you a well-rounded DB, and I mean that's hard to beat.
You love football, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
You like being a Patriot?
Yeah.
What is it about walking in that door the Patriot way? I used to hate the Patriots. That tuck rule, that was some bullshit, Gonzalez. You know that?
That was before my time, but I mean, it's just the pedigree of the Patriots, just the history, the winning, just that kind of how it is. So, I mean, we got to get back to it. We've been off these past 2 years, but hopefully we get back to being who we are.
What's your plan now, Jameis? What are you going to do, man, the next couple months? What are you looking for?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to working. Like I always do. I'm looking forward to eliminating negative plays. I'm looking forward to taking more of a patient approach, trying to take away some of my drive to tear people up and just focusing on completions.
I found Jameis. He was on Gruden's QB camp. You know, we're reviving our show.
Yeah.
I might have to get Penix down there to help me out. But
I
watched Jameis Winston before the game almost run out of gas, getting everybody ready to play. I mean, he's trying to get the defensive line ready to go. He's trying to get the coaching staff ready to go. He's getting the cheerleaders ready to go. Remember we talked about that?
We did. We talked about that.
And when I watch you play, I still feel like your pregame speeches, I mean, you're doing so much energy. You're giving so much energy to get everybody ready to play. What is it about you that gets you going like that before a game?
I think the sport that we play requires all in or don't come at all. So I want to let everybody know that I'm for them, and I want them to be for me so we can go out there and compete together. And I remember them talks of you talking about how I was wasting energy. Now, I've gotten better. My pregame speeches
Some of yours are on TikTok, man.
They've gotten shorter, you know, more concise. But, Coach, man, talk to me about just the relationship of the head coach and the quarterback. Obviously, you see head coaches and quarterbacks are tied together. Like, what are you looking for out of the relationship, and how do you continue to build upon a relationship and get away from the cliches of you just got to play a good game and that's how I keep my job?
You know what? I think you got to ask Brad Johnson, or you got to ask Derek Carr, or you got to ask Rich Gannon, the guys that were with me the longest. You know, I go back to the word trust, man. You know, I got to trust you, you got to trust me, and we got to earn that trust. Mm-hmm. And the only way we're going to ever earn it is by being together. So I did the tip sheets. Mm-hmm. I ran the quarterback meetings. I installed the plays. And I would say, do you like it? You like this? You like it? I'd wear you out with that. You like it? And as soon as you said, yeah, I like it, you don't like it. You love it or like it. You know, but I used to just spend countless hours with these guys, and I wanted your feedback. If you don't like something, we ain't calling it. If you love something, we're calling it. And I wanted you to be excited by the game plan. And I wanted your input a little bit, but I also wanted to yell at you on the practice field so you would yell at the teammates.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I would even script it sometimes. I say, hey, Derek, I'm going to get on your ass hard today so you can get on the players. You know, I want the tempo going. Mm-hmm. I want to break the huddle. I want to get set. I want to communicate better. I want you guys to really have the cachet to run the operation. And I think by midseason, you don't need me. You don't need a coach. We should be able to go out and play and practice and beat anybody because of our preparation. But yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for joining me.
Thank you, Coach.
You got your phone on you?
We on it.
I'm going to give you my number.
Okay.
I'm going to be looking for you. Where do you hang out in Tampa? Where's your top 2 or 3 places?
I'll be
Come
home.
on, man.
I'll be home.
Where's your best restaurants? Go to.
My mama cooking.
Yeah, that's right.
You're not going to give me one?
I
Not
don't-
one Penix place? Come on, man.
I don't got none.
In Tampa?
I ain't been nowhere lately in Tampa.
All right.
I ain't been nowhere lately.
We got work to do, Jameis. We got to.
He working on the right
Yeah.
things, not on no food.
This is the last thing, but how's it feel, and what's your leadership style, Mike? I mean, what are the Falcons expecting from you coming into year 2 from a leadership standpoint?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I feel like they always say anybody can be a leader, you know, but you know, it's different types of leaders as well. You know, for me, I was always a guy that tried to gain that connection with the guys, because you got to know who you're leading. You know, you can't go in there leading somebody blind. You don't know, like we were talking about the receiver. If you got a receiver that, you know, he wants the ball, he's not getting the ball a certain way, you know, I feel like you got to build those relationships. And I feel like leadership, you know, it's influence, you know, but you got to build those relationships to be able to influence somebody, you know, because you got a guy like that, you know, maybe he can't take, you know, the public, you know, getting on them in the middle of practice. Maybe you got to pull him to the side and, you know, just talk to him, encourage him for him to be able to be that guy. And, you know, for me, I want to be that leader that, you know, understand his guys and, you know, can help bring the best out of his guys in any situation. You know, it's not always, it doesn't always have to be right on the spot in front of everybody. You know, it could be, so like sometimes I would get sometimes in college, it was like, early on in college, he doesn't lead a certain way. And it's like, okay, you don't know how I'm leading. You know, the guys that I'm with out there on the field, we connect in a different way. We know what it takes to win football games, and we know how, and they know how I'm gonna approach that leadership standpoint so that we can be on the same page and go out there. So I feel like, man, it's all about relationships again, like I said. And you know, for me, I'm gonna build those relationships with the guys, and you know, get that connection with the receivers, you know, connection with the offensive line, you know, as well, you know, so that whenever we do touch that gridiron and come game day, you know, we're all on the same page on what we want to achieve. So
I was around another number 9. Drew Brees. And one thing that Drew Brees, do you know how he led? He won football games. And I think that is the most important thing that quarterbacks can do in leadership. And I think that's one thing that I haven't done in this league to gain the trust and earn the respect of these coaches in this league. You out there winning, it don't matter about the speeches. It don't matter about sometimes it don't really matter about the relationship. Drew Brees used to have simple relationships with one-on-one. He never was a guy that talked in front of the whole team unless it was a organized team meeting. He was somebody that could paint a picture individually for who he wanted to do his job. And on game day, Drew Brees had some good speeches. That's where I got some of my speeches from. He had some good speeches, and he won football games. I think that's the biggest thing. I'm excited for you because you're going to be a number 9 in the NFC South. unless I come back, win the football game.
Every time I see Penix, I have flashbacks of that other left-hander they used to have in Atlanta.
Oh, my
I'm like, you remember Mike Vick, right?
Yeah.
Have you talked to Mike at all?
I have. I talked to him before.
Has he given you any advice on being the guy in Atlanta?
Yeah, I talked to him early on, like after I got drafted and stuff, and he was just like, man, you win football, like you talking about, you win football games, you know, the city they're gonna be right behind you, you know. So like he said, man, it's about winning, man. That's the number one goal on that football field each and every day. Everything you're doing is to help your team win football games, and you know that's when you start leaving a legacy. So.
Well, you guys, young guys, I mean, you guys are the future of the league, and you're lucky to hang around with this guy. He is he's one of the most intense, highly prepared guys, and he has a passion for this, and I hope a lot of it rubs off on you, man. Hopefully we can connect down in Tampa.
Sir.
Stay
Yes,
in touch.
sir.
Yep.
For sure.
Love you, brother. Yep. All right, Jameis. Christian, good to see you.
Sir.
Great meeting you.
Appreciate it.